It's finally happening. The veil you have felt thinning all year is about to tear open, and the heavens are preparing to speak in a language that cannot be ignored. You've chosen one, are not watching this by accident. Your spirit was guided. Here because you were meant to hear what others will dismiss because you are being summoned into remembrance. The last 4 days of September 2025 are not normal days. They're not casual dates to be flipped past on a calendar. No, these final 4 days are a fated appointment, an ordained window where time itself will bend, accelerate, and test the strength of every soul walking this earth. The air will feel different, as though charged with electricity. The nights will stretch longer, carrying visions that shake you awake, and the days will pulse with synchronicities so precise that you will know deep within your bones that the universe is staging something. This is not random. This is not ordinary. This is destiny ripening before your very eyes. Every whisper of intuition, every shiver on your skin, every dream that lingers after dawn has been building toward this threshold. For too long, many have been asleep, drifting through cycles of illusion, unaware of the storm forming in the spiritual atmosphere. But you have been chosen to witness, to endure, and to awaken. These last 4 days of September will draw a line in the sand between those who see and those who refuse to look, between those who ascend and those who repeat. And so I say to you, brace yourself, prepare your heart, and listen with the ears of your soul for the prophecy of these. Days is already unfolding. The pressure in the unseen realms is building like a storm before it breaks, and the spiritual atmosphere is vibrating with signs. For months, perhaps even years, you have sensed something approaching. A shift, a reckoning, a moment where all illusions crumble and truth rises like fire. The last 4 days of September 2025 are not simply the end of a month. They are a convergence of cosmic threads that have been weaving since the beginning of this year. Even since the beginning of your soul's journey. Imagine the ticking of a divine clock, every second resonating with karmic weight, every beat echoing with destiny. In this narrow passage of time, veils will thin so drastically that what was hidden will shout, what was buried will rise, and what was delayed will rush forward with unstoppable force. Those who are unprepared will call it chaos, misfortune, or madness, but those with awakened eyes will recognize it for what it is, revelation. These days will not ask you politely. To awaken, they will shake you, strip you, and test you until you can no longer deny the truth of who you are. The heavens are orchestrating an acceleration unlike anything you have felt before. And if your spirit is sensitive, you may already be restless, unable to sleep, unable to quiet the strange anticipation building inside you. Pay attention, for the countdown has already begun. The last 4 days of September will stretch and bend as though each hour carries the weight of a week, each moment vibrating with lessons and choices. These are karmic days, bookends of an entire cycle you have been walking through, consciously or unconsciously. Think of the months leading to this point as preparation, rehearsals, training grounds. But now the curtain is rising and the performance is real. The universe will demand authenticity. Masks will fall, shadows will surface, and those who have avoided their truth will feel cornered because there will be nowhere left to run. You may find relationships suddenly unraveling, long-held secrets surfacing, or unexpected opportunities knocking on your door. Do not mistake these as accidents. They are orchestrations of the divine, pushing you to either release or rise. Every choice made in these days will echo beyond September, shaping not just your present, but the trajectory of your destiny. The chosen cannot afford to ignore this. If you feel that eerie sense of déjà vu, that recurring number pattern, that sudden dream of an ancestor calling your name, do not dismiss it. These are not coincidences. They are reminders that your soul signed a contract to be awake at this hour. These days are not given to everyone as opportunity, but as test. The last 4 days of September will act as a mirror, reflecting back all you have carried, all you have hidden, and all you have denied. The energy will be too amplified, for pretenses, too sharp for comfort zones, too precise for avoidance. You will feel your emotions heightened, anger rising, sadness surfacing, joy bursting unexpectedly, as though your inner world is being amplified on a cosmic speaker. For some, this will be terrifying, as the shadows they have ignored come to the surface, but for the chosen ones, it is purification. It is the fire that does not consume, but refines. These days are the threshold, the cosmic exam that separates those still bound by illusion from those ready to step into their assignment. Every thought will be magnified, every intention tested, every vibration counted. You cannot fake alignment. You cannot disguise fear as faith. The universe will know, and your own spirit will know, if you are walking in truth. This is why you have been called here, to be warned, to be armed, and to be ready. The last 4 days of September are unlike anything the rest of this year has carried. They are charged, fated, and destined to be remembered in your souls. History. To the unawakened, these days may appear as accidents, breakdowns, or chaos. But to you, the chosen, you will see the threads, the synchronicities, the messages, the undeniable guidance. Imagine standing at the edge of a great river. Behind you lies everything you've known, every cycle, every repetition, every delay. Before you lies the current of destiny, fast and unstoppable. In these days, the universe is saying, will you step into the river, or will you remain chained to the shore? This is why you cannot approach these dates casually. You cannot drift through them half asleep, numbed by distraction. You must approach them with reverence, as if entering a sacred temple. Because you are, time itself becomes a temple in these final 4 days, and how you walk through it will define whether you carry old chains into October, or whether you emerge lighter, freer, and aligned. Hear me clearly. This is not a warning meant to scare you, but a trumpet meant to wake you. The portal is opening, and you have been summoned. Chosen one. Listen closely, because the stars themselves are leaning in. The last 4 days of September 2025 are marked by a rare and potent interplay of planetary alignments that no astrologer can dismiss as ordinary. The moon, entering its waning phase, will be whispering endings, closures, and release. But it will not whisper gently. It will cry out, demanding you to let go of what you have clung to for too long. As the sun inches through Libra, the sign of balance and judgment, cosmic justice will be pronounced. Libra does not tolerate imbalance. It demands truth, equilibrium, and the restoration of harmony. At the same time, Saturn, the great taskmaster, the planet of karma and lessons, will be pressing against the collective like an unrelenting examiner, ensuring that no corner of dishonesty goes unchecked. And Pluto, Lord of transformation and rebirth, will stir the underworld of your psyche, unearthing what you thought you buried, dragging it into the light. These are not mild influences. They are forces colliding in a sacred convergence. It will feel as though the heavens themselves are writing across the sky. Awaken or repeat. Every vibration, every celestial chord, every planetary whisper will play into the symphony of these final 4 days. And if you are still awake enough, you will feel the music resonating in your very bones. The end of September carries an energy unlike the beginning. While the first days of the month often feel like unfolding, expansion, and gathering momentum, the last 4 days bring a compression, a squeezing, a karmic accounting. Imagine September as a book, the early chapters setting the stage, the middle carrying the tension, but the last 4 pages carrying the revelation, the twist, the truth that reframes everything. That is the nature of this time, these days. Our karmic bookends, not only of the month, but of the cycles you have been living since the beginning of this year, and even beyond. You may find yourself facing patterns that repeat with eerie precision, conversations you thought were resolved suddenly resurfacing, old wounds reopening, situations looping back around as if to ask, have you truly learned this lesson? Or are you still bound? The universe will not allow loose threads to carry forward. What has been left incomplete must either be sealed or shattered. These are the days where contracts close, not just in the physical realm, but in the spiritual. Ancestral ties, karmic debts, hidden oaths, all come up for review. The chosen ones will feel it in their dreams, in their bodies, in the heaviness or lightness of their spirit. It will feel as though the story is ending, but endings are also beginnings. And the final punctuation of September is secretly the doorway into a new chapter of destiny. Understand this? The window of the last 4 days of September 2025 is rare because it carries both the weight of conclusion and the spark of acceleration. Ordinarily, lunar cycles and planetary alignments disperse their influence across weeks and months, giving souls time to adapt, to adjust, to flow with the current. But in these 4 days, time collapses. Lessons are condensed. Choices are magnified. It is as if the universe, tired of waiting, has decided to place the final exam directly in your path. The energy will test your resilience, your clarity, your alignment. Those who resist will feel overwhelmed, as though everything is happening at once. Sudden endings, shocking revelations, emotional storms. Those who are prepared, however, will recognize that the compression is not punishment, but gift. Imagine a blacksmith heating iron until it glows, then striking it again, and again to shape it. That is what these 4 days are. The heat and the strike, shaping your soul into the weapon of light it was always meant to be. It is rare, it is sacred, and it will not come again in this exact form. You were placed here in this exact timeline because your spirit has the capacity to endure it and to rise from it forged. Sharpened, unstoppable. The intensity of this portal will be felt in sudden shifts, the kind that jolt you awake and force you to pay attention. Expect revelations, not just in the outer world, but within yourself. A truth you have been ignoring may rise so loudly that you cannot turn away. A relationship may shift dramatically, either breaking apart or breaking open to deeper intimacy. Your sense of purpose may crystallize in an instant, or what you thought was your path may dissolve overnight. These shifts will not be gentle, because they are not meant to be. They are meant to catalyze. Remember, the universe does not waste time with the chosen. You are not here for comfort. You are here for alignment. These days will strip away distractions and demand that you see what is real. If you have been building on false foundations, expect them to crack. If you have been walking in truth, expect confirmation so undeniable they leave you in awe. It will feel like standing in a thunderstorm where lightning keeps striking, each bolt revealing the landscape in flashes of clarity. The question is not whether the storm is coming, it is whether you are prepared to see by the lightning, or whether you will close your eyes in fear. The closing vibration of September will feel like a cosmic heartbeat, pulsing with endings, revelations, and spiritual tests. It is not random that this energy arrives here, in the final stretch of the 9th month. For 9 is the number of completion, of gestation fulfilled, of cycles closing so that new life may emerge. These 4 days are the labor pains of a new reality pressing to be born. And like all labor, they come with intensity, with pressure, with urgency that cannot be postponed. Many will resist clinging to what is familiar, even if it is broken. But the chosen will recognize that resistance is futile, for destiny will not be denied. Every synchronicity, every dream, every whisper of intuition in these days will be like contractions pushing you toward delivery. If you feel restless, it is because your soul knows something is crowning. If you feel weary, it is because your spirit has been carrying this weight for lifetimes. But do not despair, for just as labor brings forth life, so too will these days bring forth clarity, alignment, and the emergence of your true path. The endings are not death, but doorway. The pain is not punishment, but passage. And the 4 final days of September 2025 will prove, beyond doubt, that nothing in your journey has been wasted. Every step, every scar, every tear has led you here to the threshold of rebirth. The celestial orchestration of these final September days is not just about planets moving through signs. It is about the universe aligning the clockwork of time with the inner chambers of your soul. Neptune, planet of dreams and illusions, will be especially loud in this window, blurring lines between the seen and unseen, between reality and vision. This means that dreams will not be ordinary. They will be messages, prophecies, rehearsals of choices you must soon make. Do not dismiss them, for they will carry codes of guidance. Mercury, messenger of the gods, moves in tension, stirring communication breakdowns, technological glitches, and misunderstandings that reveal hidden truths. What seems like chaos in conversation is really exposure of what has been festering in silence. Uranus, the awakener, electrifies the field with surprises, sudden shifts, breakthroughs or breakdowns that force realignment. Do you see the pattern? The universe has set every planet as a player in this drama, each vibration carrying the same demand. Awaken, awaken, awaken. There's no escape in these days, only choice: to surrender to the flow of revelation or to resist and be shattered by the current. For the chosen, surrender is survival, resistance is repetition. The rarity of this September alignment is that it gathers so many archetypal forces. Saturn's karma, Pluto's death and rebirth, Neptune's dreamscape, Uranus shocks, Libra's balance, the moon's release, all compressed into 4 days. Ordinarily, you would walk through these energies over weeks or months, allowing gradual adaptation. But not this time. The heavens have woven a quickening, a vortex that collapses linear time. That is why everything will feel accelerated. Lessons you avoided for years may surface in hours. Choices you delayed may demand answers overnight. Truths you hid from yourself may roar into the forefront without warning. To the unprepared, this feels like collapse. But to the awakened, it is sacred efficiency. The universe is cutting away delays, carving shortcuts through your destiny, demanding that you step boldly into alignment. These 4 days are like the doorway of an eclipse, except without shadow. Everything is revealed, naked, undeniable. You will not wonder whether this is the portal. You will know because your body, your dreams, your relationships, your emotions will all vibrate with it. The book closes, the cycle ends, and the chosen are examined. These are not usual days. They're sacred, they're fated. They are testing grounds of the soul. Now let me tell you what you will feel in these days. Chosen one, expect distractions, temptations and spiritual traps to multiply around you. The closer you move toward your breakthrough, the more resistance will rise to meet you. People from your past may reappear, not as allies, but as mirrors of who you used to be. Old habits may resurface, pulling at your resolve. Unexpected delays, sudden arguments, or strange opportunities may appear, all designed to test your discernment. Do not assume every open door is divine. Some are snares, leading you back into cycles you have outgrown. The spiritual atmosphere will be thick with noise, with illusions, with bait. This is why you must sharpen your inner ear, listening not to the loudest voice, but to the still whisper within. Remember, in moments of great acceleration, the enemy always sends distractions. These are not coincidences. They are the universe asking, have you learned to see through the veil, or will you be lured back into illusion? The traps are not punishment. They are proof of your graduation. If you recognize them for what they are and refuse to fall, you are already passing the test. Emotionally, these 4 days will feel like tidal waves. One moment you may be overcome with grief, the next with joy so sharp it brings tears. Do not fear the intensity. It is cleansing, not destroying. You are being asked to feel what you once numbed, to release what you once buried, to surrender the emotions that calcified into chains. This emotional volatility is not madness, it is medicine. Pay attention to the triggers, for they are signposts pointing to the wounds you still carry. If sudden anger erupts, ask, what boundary have I been ignoring? If sorrow rises, ask, what grief have I denied myself? If joy bursts unexpectedly, ask, what truth am I finally aligning with? The waves are not random. They are ancestral, karmic, cosmic. Many of you will feel the presence of those who came before you, ancestors whispering guidance, comforting you, or warning you. Their voices will come in dreams, in sudden memories, in flashes of intuition. Listen, this is not imagination. The veil is too thin in these days for such things to be dismissed. The emotions are not weakness. They are your soul's way of washing you clean. Your dreams in these nights will not be ordinary. They will be vivid, layered, symbolic, prophetic. Some of you will dream of water, rivers, oceans, floods, signaling release and cleansing. Others will dream of fire, of buildings burning, of landscapes transforming, signaling purification and rebirth. Still, others will dream of voices calling your name, of ancestors, of mentors, of strangers delivering cryptic messages. Do not shrug these off. Write them down. These are not random neural sparks. They are transmissions from realms beyond the veil. In fact, the dreamscape in these 4 days may feel more real than waking life. You may wake up with tears on your face, with a phrase echoing in your mind, with the sense that you have just lived a parallel life. That is because you have. The universe will use dreams to speak what the waking mind resists. And for the chosen ones, the dream is not escape, but instruction. Pay attention, for your ancestors may be handing you keys you will need for October and beyond. To ignore the dream is to miss the map. Relationships will be under fire during this portal. Any bond not built on truth will crack under the pressure. Friendships may fall silent. Partnerships may fracture. Hidden betrayals may surface. But do not despair. This is pruning, not punishment. The universe will not allow you to carry false alignments into your next season. If someone leaves, bless them. If a truth is revealed, thank the heavens. If a connection strengthens, hold it with reverence. You will know who is aligned with your soul's path because in the chaos of these days, their presence will bring peace, not confusion. Many of you will face choices to cling to familiar but draining ties or to release them and trust the unknown. Remember, not everyone can cross into your destiny with you. Some are only meant for chapters, not the entire story. The final days of September will make this distinction clear, even brutally so. Let go gracefully. For the chosen ones, loss is never loss. It is clearing. And alignment always replaces what illusion removes. Your sense of purpose will either crystallize or collapse in these days. Many of you have been walking paths half-heartedly, working jobs that drain you, chasing goals that no longer resonate, pretending satisfaction where emptiness reigns. These last days of September will not allow such pretense. You may wake one morning with the undeniable knowing, I cannot do this anymore. Or you may stumble into a conversation, a synchronicity, a revelation that ignites your true calling with undeniable fire. Do not resist this shift. Do not rationalize yourself back into cages. The universe is demanding that you align now. You will feel pulled, pressed, summoned toward something greater. For some, this may feel like collapse, but it is really clarity. For others, it will feel like destiny rushing in, as if the path you have prayed for suddenly opens before you. This is not coincidence. It is the universe pulling you into position, stripping away the false, anchoring you in the true. These 4 days are the reckoning of purpose, and the chosen ones cannot afford to ignore the call. How will you know the universe is pulling you into alignment? You will see signs everywhere. Repeating numbers flashing at precise moments. Animals crossing your path, words leaping out of conversations, dreams carrying the same message again and again. You will feel it in your body, a sudden lightness when you think of the path that is true, a heaviness when you linger on what is false. Your intuition will be louder than logic, your inner knowing sharper than any outside advice. Do not second guess it. The universe speaks in patterns, and in these days, the patterns will be undeniable. Pay attention to what opens with ease and what resists with friction. Pay attention to where your energy expands and where it drains. These are not just feelings. They are divine navigation. The universe will not shout instructions in these days. It will whisper them, but with such precision that only the awake will notice. And you, chosen one, are being asked to notice. For the portal is not about luck, but about alignment. And if you heed the signs, you will step into October lighter, clearer, and anchored in destiny. Now hear me clearly, chosen one. This portal is not to be faced passively. You must prepare your vessel, cleanse your spirit, and steady your ground. Begin with energy clearing rituals. In these last 4 days, the spiritual air will be dense, buzzing with frequencies both divine and deceptive. You cannot afford to carry residue into this window. Burn sage, palo santo, or incense in your home, not as empty ritual, but with intention, declaring aloud that only light may dwell within your space. Cleanse your body too. Bathe in salt water, letting the grains draw out heaviness from your aura. Some of you will be led to fast, even for a few hours, to sharpen your clarity. Others will feel called to spend time in nature, barefoot on the earth, reconnecting to the pulse of Gaia herself. Do not ignore these nudges. Ground yourself, because the storm of energy will try to sweep you away. And remember, you are not a victim of these days. You are a vessel chosen to hold light within them. Your preparation is your shield. Journaling will be your sword in these days of karmic release. Write as if your soul were dictating to you, for indeed it will be. Ask yourself, what cycles am I ready to end? What fears have kept me bound? What truths am I afraid to speak? What relationships still tether me to the past? Let the words pour without judgment, without censoring. The act of writing is not just reflection, it is release. As you put pen to paper, you are transferring the weight from your spirit into form, where it can be acknowledged and surrendered. Burn the pages when you are done, if your heart feels led, a symbolic act of setting fire to the chains. The ancestors are watching, the universe is listening. These questions are not simple self-help prompts. They are keys unlocking your freedom. Do not dismiss the power of your own words in these days. For as surely as planets move, as surely as moons shift, your intention is the force that decides whether you are bound or liberated. Meditation and prayer will be the compass, guiding you through this threshold. Even 10 minutes of stillness each day can tune your spirit to the frequency of truth. Sit in silence, hand on your heart, and breathe deeply, as if you are inhaling light itself. Imagine the old energies flowing out with every exhale, the new pouring in with every inhale. If you're led, create moon water under the night sky of these final days. Place a jar of water beneath the moonlight. Infuse it with prayer and drink it as medicine for your soul. Speak affirmations that anchor you in alignment. I release what no longer serves. I step into truth. I embrace my divine assignment. Do not recite these like empty mantras. Speak them as declarations, as contracts with the universe. For words in these days will carry amplified power. What you decree will echo. What you affirm will root. And what you pray will pierce the veil. The heavens are listening more closely than ever. Do not waste your breath on fear. How will you know if you are passing the tests? The signs will be clear. You will feel peace even in the storm. You will recognize distractions for what they are and turn away, no matter how tempting. You will release without bitterness, trusting that what leaves was never meant for your next season. You will sense alignment even if the path is uncertain. Passing the test is not about perfection. It is about authenticity. It is about choosing truth over illusion, faith over fear, surrender over control. If you fall into distraction, do not despair. The awareness of the trap is itself a sign of growth. But if you walk through these days with open eyes, with courage, with humility, you will know in your spirit that you have shifted. The air will feel lighter. Synchronicities will multiply. Your dreams will confirm it. The universe is not cruel. It always leaves signs for the attentive. Passing the test does not mean life will be free of challenges. It means you are aligned enough to walk with divine guidance through them. That is the victory of the chosen. But hear this warning, for it must be spoken. If you ignore this portal, If you treat these last days as ordinary, you risk carrying old chains into your next season. Cycles you thought you escaped will repeat with sharper edges. Lessons you avoided will return heavier. Doors that were opening will close, not because you were unworthy, but because you were unready. The universe is merciful, but it is also precise. It will not waste alignment on those who refuse to see. This is why I say with urgency, do not numb yourself with distractions. Do not drown in noise. Do not assume you can coast through these days. They are too sacred, too loaded, too rare. Ignoring them is like ignoring a final exam, thinking you will pass by default, but destiny requires participation. The heavens have done their part. They've arranged the alignments, thinned the veil, sent the messages. Now it is your turn to respond. For those who embrace this portal, however, their rewards are beyond imagination. Chains will fall. Clarity will pierce confusion. Relationships built on truth will flourish. Paths of purpose will open. You will step into October not as you were, but as who you were always meant to be. These 4 days are the threshing floor, where wheat is separated from chaff, where illusion is stripped away, and where destiny reveals itself. Do not underestimate the magnitude of this choice. You stand on sacred ground, on the hinge of timelines. Every vibration in these days will either lift you higher or anchor you lower. Every decision will echo. Every intention will count. And when you look back, you will not remember these days as ordinary. You will remember them as the moment everything shifted. The crossroads where your soul said yes to its assignment. The last 4 days of September are not just dates on a calendar. They are a divine appointment. The universe has written your soul into this moment. The stars have conspired. The ancestors have gathered. The veils have thinned, and time itself has bent to bring you here. You are not hearing this by accident. You are not scrolling this by chance. This message is your confirmation. The only question is, will you answer the call? Will you release the old, embrace the new, and walk through this portal with courage? Or will you turn away, choosing comfort over destiny? The choice is yours, but know this, the heavens will remember what you chose, and so will your soul. Chosen one, awaken, prepare, rise, for the final 4 days of September 2025 are upon us. And they are not usual, they are the threshold of destiny. Step through.